my name is Allie, and welcome to my channel. We are back with Mystic Destiny Serendipity of Aeons, Shinji's route. I almost forgot who you're on. Anyway, let's just go. Without explaining himself to anyone, Shinji immediately walks out of the room. Without any reason to stay behind, I excuse myself too, but before I leave, Hikaru calls out to me.
Fujimoto, be careful about what you get involved in. Whatever this is about, this is likely just the beginning.
I give the professor a little nod before I leave the room, wondering just what it is he knows that I don't.
I'm gonna apologize immediately. My allergies have been so bad, so if I sound a little raspy, I do apologize. And if I cough every once in a while.
When I walk outside, I'm surprised to see Shinji leaning on the wall by the gates. My heart skips a little when I approach him, and he stands up properly to face me. Is it all right for you to walk around like that?
It's fine. Don't worry about it. People barely ever notice anything, and I know a bunch of shortcuts so I can avoid being spotted. I'm sorry for just leaving like that. I'll walk you home.
Well, to be honest, I don't feel like going home yet. All of this mess has brought up my bad feelings about Shizuka. I don't want to be alone right now.
Do you want to come hang out at my place then?
Oh, interesting.
At least until I have to go to work.
Did he just invite me over? He's never done that before. I can't believe he's thinking about going to work after a day like this, though. But I just realized I haven't had any notification about shifts at all, despite being hired.
That old man keeps doing random stuff like this, and I'm the one who has to sort everything out.
Just what type of boss is he?
All right. You can come to work with me, and everything can be figured out then. For now, let's go to my place. I need to grab my uniform anyway.
I'm tired, but I'd be able to support him then, so if I can work with him today. I'm sure he can't process everything this fast, and I'm worried. I agree without hesitation, and Shinji takes me out of Hajiwara. We go through many different shortcuts over to his place. As soon as we step into Shinji's apartment, we're greeted by his roommate, Sho.
Whoa. Hey, Shin. What's up with the ears?
Shinji merely shrugs.
Turns out I'm not a human.
Shinji looks at me.
You mind if I have a quick shower, Munji? Sho can keep you company for a bit while I'm gone.
Sure, yeah, go ahead. Don't worry about me. Shinji excuses himself for a bit and leaves the room. Left alone with Sho, I walk over to the couch to sit down, and Sho sits in the chair across from me. I look around at the spacious apartment, thinking about how much more extravagant it is than mine. Surely Veritas doesn't pay him that well. It's funny because her apartment looks freaking amazing. I mean, the apartment I'm living in now is like a crapshoot. I mean, come on.
I mean, we're not in a great area either. We didn't realize it was such a bad place where we live in right now. Sorry, I had to get a drink.
So, there's an awkward silence for about a half a second before Sho smiles and speaks.
So, how are you?
I start to say something perfunctory? I don't know that word, but oh well. But looking at Sho's open and warm face, not wide face, what the fuck, just makes me feel like I can trust him. So instead, I find myself launching into a description of everything that's happened so far. I begin with what happened today and work my way backward. I start about explaining about Killian and how we met, and he took us to Avalon. How Shinji's mother and true nature was revealed to him, and how Miki had a lock on her memories. I sigh when I think about how I wouldn't even know all of this if I hadn't been forcibly dragged into it.
So much has happened. Even I had no idea. But why do you seem so sad about it?
Well, it's because I don't even think I'd be here if Killian hadn't approached me.
What do you mean?
I hesitate for a moment. It's okay to tell him this, right? I explained to Sho how I met Emmy and how Shinji told her he doesn't think of me as a friend, just someone he's helping. I figured we'd at least become friends over the past few months that we've been partners, but it seems like Shinji didn't think so at all.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Why? Did he say something about me?
No, it's just that Shinji doesn't let people in easily.
How many times has Shinji willingly mentioned about himself without being asked? I think back, but I can't think of anything too personal until very recently. I'm sure if I hadn't been with him and I saw his new ears, he'd have just shrugged it all away like it's no big deal. Just how he reacted to Sho when he came in. How did you guys become friends then, if he never lets people in?
Well, it's kind of a long story, but one day in junior high, I had to stay after school one day. My parents were supposed to pick me up. We were going to take a trip between realms somewhere, so I had to wait for them. I was hanging out with my friends after school for a bit, but eventually they had to leave. So I was left alone. I started to feel anxious. I tried listening to music and it worked for a while, but eventually I realized they weren't coming. I started to panic. That's when Shin found me. He has a habit of wandering around and forgetting the time, I discovered later. Anyway, he talked with me and helped me calm down. He made sure I was feeling better, and then he walked me home. After that, Shin would always find me and make sure I was all right. For some reason, Shin always managed to find me when I'd have to be alone, for whatever reason. He went out of his way to make sure I was okay every single day. Even when Shin had to move schools to senior high, he'd still manage to check up on me, somehow. He'd even come and visit me at home and bring games so we could hang out and study together. Shin saved me, I think. He can seem cold, but he's a great guy and my best friend. But even I don't know everything that's going on with him. Sho looks at me then. So, do you still want to be Shinji's friend?
I'd like to be more than that, idly. Interesting. In this route, she is like full on. I like him. I want to be more than just a friend. I want to be like his girlfriend. In some routes, she's like, I'm not sure how I feel towards him. I don't know. So it's like, it's funny how and like, think about it too. With Sho's route, she didn't figure out till later on either, till he was practically dead in her arms. But, well, it's not that she figured it out, that she, well, it hit her harder. Anyway. But if being friends is all I can manage, then I'll be happy with that. Though, not as happy as being more than friends would make me. We hear the shower turn off, and soon Shinji comes out of the bathroom. In a towel? No, darn. When he enters into view, he's wearing clothes I've never seen before, but they suit him well. Them, along with his damp hair curling over his adorable fae ears, is slowly doing me in.
Sorry that took so long. Are you ready to go to work?
Sure. I left my uniform in my locker anyway.
Can I come with you guys? I don't know. Are you sure you won't fall asleep there?
Nope. I feel like I could stay awake forever. So I'm counting with you. I'm coming with you, not counting dirt.
Fine. Let's get going then.
I get up, willing myself not to stare at Shinji, at least while he's looking at me. All three of us then head out of their apartment to Veritas. Oh, we're already on Chapter 5. Interesting. Chapter 5, The Calm. When we get to Veritas, I head straight into the break room to get changed into my uniform after Shinji does. Afterward, I join the two.
Why don't you try making Sho's usual order?
Okay, sure. What is it?
A peach and caramel milkshake.
Weird. That sounds good. I'll get it started then. I walk behind the bar and Shinji helps me prepare the frozen drink. I got a hiccup. Okay, it was a quiet one. We're good. Together, we pour the caramel on. Shinji leans against the counter and looks at me.
So, do you have any preferences on when your shifts are?
Well, if it'd be alright, I'd like to just keep the same ones as you. There's a lot I don't know yet, so I feel more comfortable if I could learn from you.
I don't know if it's possible, but I'll try.
I take the drink to show, then and after a little sip, he gives me a thumbs up.
You did a great job, Munchie. Thanks.
That's nice of you, but it's not like I did much.
Well, I wouldn't know how to do it, and I'm still grateful.
I give Sho a smile and head back to the counter. But I don't see Shinji anywhere. I start to look around the coffee house, and even check the break room, but I don't see him. Maybe he went to take the trash out. I go to the back door and start to open the door, but then I hear voices. Shinji's voice and someone else's. I freeze with the door cracked open.
Back again?
What did I do with his voice? I don't even remember.
You know I want from Big G. I got the money, man. Well, good for you. But it's up to him if he's gonna even give it to you. You coming to bug him every day isn't gonna make him make up his mind any faster.
The stranger laughs. It's a strangely nice laugh given the potentially sinister circumstances.
You know, I like to bug him. I don't give a shit if he can blow my head off or turn me into a frog or whatever.
What I hear has me gradually moving backward from the door unconsciously before I'm caught. I didn't know Shinji was like that. But what is this exactly? What was all that about? Is he in some shady shit? My mind begins to jump to all sorts of conclusions, none of them favorable. Eventually, I walk back to the bar and glance at Sho's table, only to see him slumped over. Sho? I run over to the table and touch his shoulder, and his head falls back, mouth half open with a bit of drool. He fell asleep. I realize that he's only asleep and sigh in relief.
I knew that would happen.
I jump at Shinji's voice next to me and look at him. What? Does this happen often?
Not quite. It's just that Shinji tends to fall asleep pretty early.
Shinji bends down and hoists Sho up over his shoulder.
I'm gonna go lie him down on the couch in the break room so he can sleep there. Could you deal with any customers that show up?
Sure, all right. Shinji leaves with Sho and I move back to behind the bar. But after the little fright Sho gave me, nothing else really interesting happens this shift. And since I never managed to pluck up the courage to ask Shinji about what happened in the alley, I end up wondering about it all night. Of course, one of my neighbors is blasting music and I can hear their bass. That gives me headaches all the time. Yes, I'm an old fart for doing that. But it's what happens when you've had older parents, so the things rub off on you at a young age. Like, when I was in high school and stuff, I would go to bed early because my parents would fall asleep early and I just bored. So I would go to bed early and my friends would be like, you are like an old fart. Who sleeps at like 7:30 when they're in high school? And it's like, well, what do I do? I mean, I wasn't a fan of... At that time, we had one computer and my brother always hogged it. So I never had a chance to go on the computer. He would hog the computer and the TV, which drove me nuts, and he'd get away with it. He still does to this day. 33 years old and he still gets away with all that crap. But anyway, I'm just going to keep moving on. When I go home that night, I'm still feeling unsettled. It's after 3 a.m. and I'm still awake, lying in my bed. I can't stop thinking about what I heard at Veritas. I turn over, trying to convince myself that it was really nothing, and I'm just worrying for no reason. I mean, I could just ask him, right? But what if he really is up to something? He definitely wouldn't tell me the truth. As the time passes, my thoughts seem to spiral out of control. Of course, it looks like the bass woke my son up. Oh well. I'm honestly starting to believe Shinji is some dangerous criminal. What if even Galen is involved? I mean, the pay for working there, it's good. Super good. I love how she's not even questioning what did he call him? Big G? Who Big G is. When, 100% it's Galen. But still, she thinks it's all Shinji, but she doesn't put two and two together. There's someone else involved. Big G, duh. In fact, when I think about it, there's no way an ordinary coffee shop could be making so much money, even if it is in the upscale district. I've learned enough business from hanging around my dad's company to be sure of that. Could Veritas just be a front for money laundering? This could be dangerous. But even so, if they are, what should I do? I don't remember when it is that I fall asleep that night, but I do know with no answers. It's with the no answers. See, her apartment is nice. I mean, she says it's not that great, but I like it. I mean, I would take it over the crap show we have right now. It's New Year's Eve today. A few days have passed since my visit to Avalon, and since I saw Shinji doing shady business in the alley. We haven't seen each other since then. Not that that's unusual. We don't usually see each other every day. But we haven't even called each other or texted or anything, so I'm kind of uneasy. If only because I don't know exactly what it was that I saw. I sigh. I still haven't decided what to do with that yet, or whatever. I didn't read it right, but oh well. I went out earlier today and got myself some snacks so that I'd be ready to greet the new year on my own. My father is still out of the country, and Ko with said Yuki invited her over to the Yukimura's house. I didn't want to intrude, so I made up something about having some party to go to. My sister was suspicious, but she let me off the hook pretty easily. So I figured that her and Yuki were hoping to sneak in some time alone. I'm trying to find some old DVDs to rewatch when I get a phone call. I look at the screen and see that it's Emmy. I answer right away. Hey, Happy New Year! Happy New Year. What's up? I was calling to see if you wanted to come to the New Year's celebration. Oh, I'm a little reluctant about it, but eventually Emmy needles me enough, and I have to admit my plans weren't much at all. Great, so then you can come. Yeah, I guess so. Somehow Emmy even convinces me to come early and help with preparations, saying that I could meet her brother. After the call, I sigh. I'm a little disappointed that I'm not going to get to wrap myself in a burrito and watch old movies all night. But still, this could be nice. By the time I get ready to go, I'm starting to feel excited about going out and spending time with Emmy. I meet up with Emmy in Showa to go shopping for party supplies. We're casually chatting as we stroll along when Emmy says something that shocks me. Yeah, you should have seen my brother and Shinji. Too bad you couldn't have come to Shinji's birthday party yourself. Wait, what? Birthday? He had a party? When was that? Oh, you didn't know? It was like a week or two ago. He never mentioned anything about it. Once again, I feel left out, and it immediately dampers my mood. All right. Maybe I just didn't think to ask. Shinji isn't the type to randomly mention it either. Well, he's going to be at this party at least. He is? What are you thinking? I'm thinking I'm going to meet him going to get him something. I'd like to catch him off guard at least once in my life. It would be nice to get him something since he has been helping me a lot. Would you help me pick out a late birthday present for him? You really like Shinji, huh? Well, all right, sure. We end up spending most of the afternoon looking around shops and picking up party supplies. Even though I usually hate shopping, I actually enjoy it this time because it's way more fun with Emmy. We get to know each other a little more, just chatting about daily life, and I realize I feel good about this whole thing already. I think this party will be a lot of fun. I am going to let you guys go here. I hope you are enjoying, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!